words that somehow just click. We all move through life differently, chasing dreams, finding calm, and growing our own ways. For some, energy is brightest when they play. For others, calm is where their focus finds its rhythm. And for a few, growth simply happens when the mind is at ease. Whatever our differences, we're all connected. By the things that hold us steady or have our backs. No matter the you, there's a color that feels like you. So let me ask you this. What's your
Class, may new student tayo. Let's all welcome sa Bobo! Okay, so welcome. Please get 1/4 sheet of paper. Okay, unang tanong. Saan mas mahirap mag-adjust? Sa PH Meta or sa PH Trash Talk?
Para sa mga nag-ano na season eh.
Perfect! Plus 5 ka. Mukhang madali kang makakapag-adjust dun. Last question class, sino ang mas pressured? Import or local pay?
I think important because this is the first time in Mpl Ph S17.
It's okay, Sagaro. Just always remember the magic word.
Bakit na to?
Okay, that's all, class.
The 17th season of Mpl Philippines is brought to you by the following sponsors. Infinix, the official gaming phone partner. The power behind every modern gamer. Smart, the simply reliable connectivity partner of the MPL. Partner esports, Team One. And our strategic partners, TT Racing, Ferry, and SIP. Don't miss any MPL action by following our official Facebook and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Follow MPL Ph on TikTok for more content. Experience the lakas ng Pinas of MPL Ph Season 17 live at Victoria Sports Tower. Grab your tickets now via the official MPL Ph website. MPL Philippines is monitored and supervised by the Games Amusement Board.
Energy as super fast. Sakay sa init. I mean, look at yung day one. Pero warm up on one.
guys, it's your very own Odin, and joining me here today is Toya. And so, ito nga Odin, kahapon marami tayong aabangan today, especially that today is Mpl Super Fan Saturday! Anyway, we have a lot of companions. Marami tayong katsikahan na mga kasama natin sa Mpl Battle Trip! But, before tayo magsikahan Odin, why don't you guys introduce yourselves? What's your name?
So, sa video clips sa habit kami na saging at the same time nagtitinda ay naglalaro ng ML. So, dahil yung nilaro niya ay Hanabi at yung sa namin kasama ay top level Hanabi. Sa kanya namin nalaro. Chape. Yeah.
Siyempre, hello! Ito pala yung naglaro nun. Saan mo ako na dito? Siya, Thea. Ano yung nilaro mo sa Hanabi? Oh! Ano lang naman. So, hindi rin sa grabe talaga sa mga players natin ko, Thea. At naturuan ko rin yan, nag-viral yan. Nagkaroon ako sa kanila. Tapos, siyempre, dito sila, kailangan na maglalaro. Kaya ganun. Parang ganun talaga lang yung naglalaro ng ML mo. Pag inabutan mo ng phone, tapos in-game, kukunin at maglalaro sila. Pero alam mo, curious ako. Ano kaya sila? Nanalo ba kayo?
Yes, pangalan mo na sa top global Japan.
Global kasi. But you know, kasama natin sila ngayon sa MPL Battle Trips and we want to ask, kamusta naman yung experience mo in this journey?
First few years, maganda yung pagka-arrange ng tips namin. And at the same time, sa loob ng bus, magkaroon kami ng mga kalaro, which is masaya kasi minalo kami ng iba't ibang sizes, especially diamonds. And,
How about from this side? Ano naman yung mga pinaka-memorable parts ng MPL Battle Trips para sa inyo?
hello, I'm Anson, and I'm the squad leader for lots of people. Ito yung nakahirap sa pagdating sa amin. And on our experience, I want to organize and I'm fun for because we were able to obtain diamonds and winners from esports videos here in the Philippines.
Yes, alam mo, Thea, ibang energy talaga ang gala ng MPL Battle Trips dahil talaga mataas ang energy na ng ating mga kasama. And with that, thank you so much. Huwag na natin pinagsagalin pa. At sama-sama natin saksihan na ang ikalawang araw ng MPL Philippines Season 17 Palagalo!
I love the energy. Talagang welcome kayo dito lang sa MPL Super Fan Saturday. Kaya mga kasama nyo for this day, mapakilala mo namin, ako si Ferdy, kasama rin si Athena at si Midnight. And of course, we are joined here by no other than the English. That's right, we're going to be your English lesson for the day. Rock hard, this is Leo and we got Leo. Alright, so it's been it's been a crazy day one. Honestly, parang ang challenge niya na. Alright, how do you run up day one, which is completely all the way 6 games? Even with the talking about it. Hindi kalit yun. Ako lang talaga na dito. Welcome back. Kaya yung tulog niya, makapag-research sa nangyari namin. Ako, sa audience na ako yesterday, pero kami fans, hindi po namin kinain. The first where we start, of course, this tournament is modern and supervised by the games and amusement board. So we're really ahead of our match number one. And these are two teams na expectations are definitely a little bit different. Our morning match yesterday was literally a world champion against like literally the Golden Road contender last year. What do you guys think about this one? I feel like it's been a long day ahead. Long road head rather, especially here for 80 grams and crossover. Actually, ang gusto kong makita dito ang pagbabalik nga ng The King, Mpl Ph. Pinakita niya na sa akin kung bakit siya the king noon. Diba? Nag-champion na ng ilang beses. Tapos hindi lang basta dito sa ating region, pati sa ibang regions, pinakita niya yung talento niya. And now I'm curious, anong meron dito sa The King? Kaya niya ba makipagsabayan? Kasi dami na talagang top ex-laners dito sa ating liga.
Ang tanong kasi is, kaya niya pa ba? Kasi kaya ngayong season, marami bagong pasok, mga groupies from MPL and so far sa kanyang return, maraming challenges na siya nakaharap siya.
You know what, it feels like completely iba din yung dinating. Alam mo yung, okay, you were the king, pero did you arrive in the same kingdom? It feels like completely different landscape though now when you think about it. Especially when you talk about MPL, yung little MPL natin. Robert, kailan ba kung nandito siya? Parang if I'm not mistaken, season 9. That's like 8 seasons ago. 4 years more here.
But hindi ko yung nag-contact na ako mga
Actually, sa tagal, hindi na ako sure. Sa tagal, pero alam mo, ang sure ako, maganda yung tanong kaya pa ba? Kasi galing sa kanya sa kaharian. Pero, fret na, may galing din sa kaharian sa kabila. Yun, no? Of course, that is going to be, who else? But what's the main names of a little kingdom of RRQ. Matagal nang proven and tested na parang sa MPL, literally, lahat yata ang nalaman.
Kapag parang inabot ko siya, pero hindi during the time na talagang on the rise na siya. Kasi alam mo, pinaka-achieve dyan siya, di ba? Hindi na alam. Yan. Bakit LBJ, kaya niya pa ba? Ito naman, kaya niya na ba?
Okay, nakakapros dito, kayo nagsasabihin niyo yan yung journey. Ako, big fan ako ng RQ type, they were very phenomenal. In fact, nakita na natin yung performance nila kaya Extra last season. Sumabot din explosive performance para sa AP friend. Pero kamusta ba si William? Kamusta ba ang pagsulong na pataas? Actually, ibang klase to. Season 2, hindi pa buo yung RQ title. Tapos, yung season 3, biglang nag-champion yung kaharian dito ng RQ. And lang basta yung tatlong members ng kaharian yung nandito. Hindi lang basta si Mingwin. Nandito nga si Nova, si Perch din na nasa Falcons, tapos ngayon nandito na si Mingwin. So kita-kita talaga natin yung development nila and not just yung lakas nila dito sa MPL ay napakita din nila yung lakas nila way back ng IESF 2024. And ito isang kwento lang tinanong ko siya nun, Kap, saan ka na ba? Ano bang meron? Sabi niya, wala, tambay na lang ako next season. Kaya wala tambay kasi nasa barangay. Tambay ng barangay. Yun. At syempre mga katapat, yung dating King of Kings na RPI ito ay ang The King of Kings. Quick reminder na, sinawa siya. Isa mga pinakaunang back-to-back champions ng Liga Season 4, Season 5. Kasama tayo, mukhang natin first championship na. Exactly. And obviously, alam mo yung natawa kasi, I-expect ko if he's gonna come back, it was gonna be mega. Kasi dahil ka mga engaging, ako na pang kalaban! Ang gusto rito, actually kakwentuhan namin ito si KLBJ nung last playoffs. Tingnan namin, actually ba talaga bumalik ang Pilipinas? Ang sabi ni KLBJ, opo coach, kasi ang lakas ng mga player dito.
Okay. Doon ako naging curious kasi parang iba sila ng baon dito ni Marcin na sense. Makabagong addition sa team nila kasi KLBJ definitely wala siya dito for a long time. Pero marami siyang nakuha internationally in terms of experience. Yes, and pero siya naman si KLBJ kasi nag-ISF siya. Pero iba yung kapag kakabito. Diba? Dahil si KLBJ nag-ora farming pa kung sa watch party. Kapag dinapros sa community mo 5-on-5.
Interesting. Ang salungan is kasama ba yan sa ating Cheese Super Series? What's your style? Well, we have the interesting speakers here for AP brand. What I can stabilize the medium and the leading stage. Kaya natin kahapon wala sa importante yung bigay kasi dito nang nagana yung tempo ang control sa river. Once makakuha ng head start ang mga backliners, even sometimes the junglers ay ano na kayo ng momentum na nakukuha nila. Kaya kasama dyan ang pagbigay kay Trace Banks ng highly mobile jungler heroes para makontrol ng AP brand ng laban versus Omega. You have para mag-on the other side na ano nandun naman yung mga na mabilis versus then when of course before the jungler the river bricks expound on his points for Spider-Man.
I think sobrang important dito kasi I feel like nung nakita natin previously ang AP Bro na maglaro versus Civil qualifiers, sobrang nag-improve mo siya talaga facing in the early game. Kasi once na-out-rotate na itong duo ng 84, ay medyo nakita natin yung hirap na for them na eventually ano sa comeback. And we talked about a mid duo who, as we compare to Green and Perks, ay mas may chemistry na. So, pwedeng i-capitalize nila itong mas matagal nila naging samahan kontra sa bagong mid duo.
Yeah, that's just also exciting because it feels like isang malaking reunion pala dito. It's really showcasing as well the power of Mpl Philippines. I'm so impressive and I'm very excited to see homecoming as well for the game. Hopefully we'll see a lot more to do. Now, expectations of another for this team and then obviously with your both timing, these are two teams that are really ready to perform. Two teams that are, trying to get that spotlight as well. Coming in from a very strong Illinois header than that. Now, what do we get to think about it? So, I don't know if the table shows the sentiment. I feel like everybody's still rebuilding. And mas malaki yung dapat yung pagpasok ng old gym pero he still has it na television. Kesa, tagay na tao yung bago, pero fresh. I share the same sentiment kasi ang tao ko dito yung revamp showdown. Revamp showdown. Kumbaga, it's coming from a very fresh environment. And it's both sides. Yung captains, and ang ganda rin kasi yung contrast meron. Ang return to Kill VJ is running sa isang space na puno na experience. You have an invested na, you have history, and you have strong omega. Ang pinaglalaban dito is yung pagsunod pataas. And, you take note, itong master ito, napagay ko sa isa sa mga videos and sa podcast ni yung pagpasok din.
Yeah. And yung maganda kasi it's a new room for the stadium na, diba? Dito, 5 Parks. And so, para nabanggit natin, new faces yung nandito para sa Omega. Patutik mo, ay reunion din kasi magaganap. Diba? Ganyan yung naman ng voice na ngayon, officially ng MPS.
Magkalaban na. Yung dating tinatawag na top. Ngayon, magkalaban na sila eh. Nakakatawag mo pag kalaban mo na natin.
Yung customer.
Ano lang, I love you na. Wish ko po. Yun yung pag nag-gilis sa labas, nag-tutuloy mo lang. Dapat sa nag-gilis sa labas. Kaya diba, tayo, or give one. Yan yung siguro, yung nag-gilis sa labas.
Kasi reunited na sila, pero as rivals naman ngayon season, diba? May mga background music na too old times.
It's so interesting you guys found out as well. By the way, Works is on main 5 dollars. Ano naman yan guys, it's Perksiva na kahagaling lamang sa aming team group. And now, he is illegal world tour siya.
Ilang taon na rin bago, almost 2 years since we last saw Perks, starting fire sa capacity. Now we're black international.
Yes, and I feel like sobrang daming masaya nakakita sa dito. Even his former teammates, I feel na talagang alam naman na pinag-deserve yung ganitong spot. And in fact na, ang dami niya na naging experience. Nag-world tour nga, ika dito. So kung ako, former teammate ko siya, medyo kakabahan ako, di ba? Na ang dami yung ang kasasalang siya bigla.
Totoo, kasi ano mo, hindi na natin, hindi na usap-usapin lang sa mga tao sa behind the scenes na sa totoo lang, ang hidden value ni Perks, pinakamataas eh, sa lahat ng working piece-up. Kasi team liquid, di ba? At galing ka sa iba't ibang colored decorated teams. Kaya pag pinunod ko itong mga teams ito, wala silang masamang masasabi kay Perks. Lahat magaganda, ang kanilang mga komento. And now, we have a team such as Sports Mega na kailangan ng first perspective. We have such a high value person coming into the team. Stokes ng barangay. Grabe. Sorry. Naisip lang ako kasi si Perks, ang pinanagustuhan ko sa kanya na sa sinabi niya sa isang interview, gusto kasi nang ipakita yung lakas niya. Diba, inawa, he's one of the ano yung i-expect natin sa kanya. Diba, of course, sobrang daming pinagdaanan, sobrang daming experiences. He's gonna affect the game as we go into our game 1 for the day. Straight over. Which happens to be the game. Let's go. Our matches.
awaiting the grand return to the people stage with the grand return of the king. It's A.B. Rejuvenated, reinvigorated, and expanded barangay. Give it up for Swat Omega! Our favorite and just Omega. Mpl Super Fan! Ito na ang unang laban sa inyo! Season 17! Super Fan Saturday! It is such a pleasure to see them all back in. This is a big one. Talk so much about the LBJ and of course their counterparts or their rivals for today across the board in AP Fives. But you can also have a superstar coach, again, head coach of maybe branded coach. God has got so many reasons all around the world. Even some reasons to go and to do the ecosystem. I think this will definitely help AP them get the footing they need to recover season 17. And of course, introduction, Just Banks, Aqua, Nova, Shizo. Hell, it's two MSC champions, Aqua and Kiel.
Literally reintroduction because he took out the X.
Sounds good anyway.
But now with an underscore, I don't think now he's
It's not before.
I think it was not before. Yeah, you're right. I think so.
Hey, that's self-expression.
We should find out if there's like any interesting facts about that, but it's gonna be Smart Omega coming in season 17. Definitely have all our eyes set on both Perks and Lundgren and how could they affect this lineup. I feel have shown shades of really aggressive gameplay, especially in season 16. I think some may argue that there have been times where Omega also felt a bit experimental when it came to that. We were looking at nets, especially when we talk about that. But when you look at Lingwood and Perxiva, the Captain Aura and Perxiva as the runner, you just get the vibes of recipe. And I don't know if it's just me who's doing that, but I feel like they could balance things out a bit.
So you're saying you have new opens in the back. Suddenly, the new team captains in the world have brought in. I think that helps. Again, I know Smart Omega's the company. I know the franchise. I know the legacy and heritage. Some rules might help.
That helps a lot. Obviously, aside from that Kingdom Aura, you also you can tell, right? Usually, the mid-lane shot callers are very crucial. And I think for the longest time, right, Smart Omega has been looking for that. Has been looking for like a person that can kind of just organize their chaos and funnel it into the objective.
Also, not over him, but he became the new team captain. I don't know if it was part of the initial roster review, but being the team captain, this would have definitely changed my outlook on the squad in my roster reaction series prior to 17. So now knowing it's a England-led ship, I think they're off to a better start.
Yeah, that's true. And considering his perks, he seems like a very cool guy. But I wonder how can he lead the team afterwards? A little bit more about next later on. But for now, let's throw it over to the sport. Is on the shoutout ka? Is on the shoutout ka? Saan ako? Nasa TV na ako. Mama! Pro player na ako! Ready na to? Ready na ako 0.10.
Ano naman, nagbuhati mo na lang ako doon ha. Kinakabahan ako. Sinaunang panahon ko ito, nakakaon ko ah. Sa pagbabalik ka masaya. Wala lang yun, bro. Wala, masaya lang kasi ano, nakakapagkulitan na ulit. Sa mga fans ko nag-aantay na sa pagbabalik ko ano. Ito na, pakikita niyo na ulit ako mabugbog. Pakikita niyo na ulit ako mabugbog tayo. Nakatama ko fans yan tayo sa pagpunta. Kaya ito kayo na dahil yung dalawan ko eh. Hindi yan. Pero di alam dalawan ni Peps na. Mga taga-Mpl din. Mga sinasabi sa akin nga ba? Watch na, balang hihingi. Kung wala mo ng cheer for today's video, tapos ano pakiramdam na sa Mpl mo? Ang saya, syempre, pare, tayo din ang tayo ito eh. Wait lang, nag-bumunit ako dito din siya, ano yung sinasabi mo? I really love it when the player actually says those words. That's MPL, that just means they're really excited as well. No problem, MPL. It just really stings. It's so real that England took that long. Yeah. It was 2 years ago that he won hardware for the Philippines. Took him a silver medal from Saudi Arabia in the ISF World Sports Championship. And then just now he debuts. I guess it just goes to show how tight the competition is, or like, maybe we feel a bit more hesitant to suddenly introduce a quote-unquote rookie player given the level of competition that you have with MPL. It doesn't feel like a rookie to me. Yeah, it doesn't feel like a rookie to me. Look at that, look at that. Hey, look at the camera. This guy knows how to command that camera. I love what I see. When I see the KLV chance, it's also so nice. It's me hearing that from him though, that kapag MPL na ako, we've been to so many MPLs. He actually has more MPLs appearances than us. Yes, is it that much? Not yet. No. I mean, the regions. The regions, right? But not you. Not yeah. Well, you know this in season 2. That's what you know to do. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, former teammates obviously in hockey guys. So we see these guys. They seem very familiar. Because Lincoln was saying something earlier too. Hey, what's X Nova saying about me? No, that's not the face. No, that's the face. That's the protest. That's why you barely missed them. Season 3, season 4, season 5 of the MPL. Those are the times when cricketer is really getting into seeing the MPL. Right, he was so busy transitioning as well. But she's doing like MPL plus MPL as well. But there are weeks
That was being, I think, season 3. I wasn't part of MPL season 3 anymore. That's when I started getting into the championship. Alright. So I started like last season, right? Not together yet. That's damn great.
Not a my bigger card, but let's make it feel old.
Oh my god. Are you going to feel old?
No,
It's very exciting, right? It's very exciting to see. Obviously, a lot of these players are very seasoned. Despite 80 grand in Omega, being a little bit more on the down low for season 16, you know what? This might be season 10. I don't even have a pick already. Angels grass.
And most like, good start. You noticed yesterday, a lot of teams who have map choice start with flying clocks.
Yeah.
What does this mean? Why DC? Why DG? FC yesterday, why DG today?
I'm actually thinking about it too. Do you think that one of our keys to victory, as discussed earlier, was to control the river or stabilize the mid lane? So I feel like if yesterday we might see in terms of the Hilda Rock, the Hilda Rock fire, but 8
Like, one person leads the two. You are the biggest grass, but we don't like Hilda.
so there's a different plan right? For me, I think one of the perks of the English grass is you can position a troll in a lot of places.
It's a troll.
Exactly, so maybe that's bad. But other than that, with Peter's grass, what other heroes do you think will have like a huge perk on this? I think, I mean, in more general in the sense that maybe would also
also be like wanting James Bond to finally get a hold of his assassins and limiting the possibilities for Smart Omega to just go on to constant invades. Because even in the recent Super qualifiers, AP then chose their or I was just broadcasting games. Hold on, his assassins, he was always a bit good on the Akais, and that was a bit weird to me. Because I know this is a very mechanically skilled player.
How long would you just revert to your mark?
That would be like exactly what we expect to do, especially considering a very strong appearance of the Lee Award. Literally the first pick of the season, by the way. I'm very proud of it. Thank you so much. First hero of the season. I feel almost.
Pick one.
I didn't expect that to happen to him, right? Yes. Now it feels like in the hands of a really strong driver, the reward just really ramps up so quickly. Probably if they do pick up the winner, they'll do sort to getting the car first.
Also good grass.
So maybe this is the prior all along.
It's a soft counter to like the assassin. Like you can never really play a good Ayabusa or Lancelot game or a counter.
No, but the Lassa is also available.
Awesome.
Sorry. Because I'm going to say it. That's what they were saying yesterday.
French. He's literally Gushi's cousin.
That's really that's why. What hours now? Just me. I did. Thank you for that. I did not know that.
Sure, man, as usual.
So, okay, here we go with the even Baksha. Obviously, Baksha triple flex still with the just crazy. Baksha hits. I guess it's why they go Instagram down to a second. Yeah, or go hard for sure. And maybe that they don't totally mind about the because I feel like this is looking to be a very dive comp so far for 8PM. That's to myself though, and I was worried about this considering the Kalea pickup.
We got a flex denial. This box ain't going nowhere, so Horizon is ready to get his hands dirty. The Perch will show us how to play Marcel. Is it just real Marcel has not won a single game this time?
Yeah. Game. Who knows?
Yeah.
But that's 30 minutes. Same with the Eastern Shame yesterday. They win us. Again, very powerful. I think just gotta give it time. Just gotta give it a little bit more reps, maybe. I'm so excited to see it in Perch's hands though. Like, Chris as a roamer is it's hard to be a support kind of roamer sometimes. Yeah. Doesn't want to go for the kills, doesn't want to go for any, wants to go for like enabling kind of roamer.
Willing to play the gamut of like Tigreal, Cho, but also Rafaela, Matilda.
Yeah. So maybe that'll serve well for aggression. Maybe Perks really picked up a lot in his time from Team Liquid as well, and the Daddy JP things. I would not be surprised.
You know about Daddy JP now?
Oh my goodness, you remember
back-to-back titles.
that's the SS dude.
All right. Why was it to the green? That's the next process other than homes during the pandemic.
That was like a great option for AP Brand too if they're going all dive. Because you need to, or now that you kind of committed to the idea, then and I want to go all in, so you have more ways to force out the golden R from this parcel. They took out that Riley, so looking at the remaining options for James Pax here, I guess the new one's still available, but the A or E is definitely going to be a problem if you're going to lean into that. He did use the Ryan previously. There's a quick in and out. If you don't know that, so you can see now. The gripe with that is like when using Marcel heroes, you kind of want projectiles, but you want to have Marcel on your lineup. You want those projectiles. You want to be able to stack them. I don't think they have any tool to do that right now. So maybe that's what we're thinking about for that later. There's cost for Beatrix.
Beatrix, Moscow is still out there.
Granger.
Right? Ranger still out there.
Snitsky, best goal. I gotta get this in totally. Okay.
You'll have to say that.
Yeah, let's say that. Unless this is gonna be a big apple, but there's the possibility might be there. But I think this is more gonna go EXP.
You thought the Flex would be the match, but it's clear that they.
Yeah.
I just want to go straight up. Good plans. I think we should have double Omega.
Yeah. Definitely not. Definitely not. But could it be a bit more damage or AP burn? But I consider the use of Shin still.
I'm not because their force are no Eve. What do you do?
So the Ziction's still there. It's Aqua. Oh, that's a Zero, right? James thanks. That's actually for the river control or the mid. So it's excellent. So on the deck, we're making off on next year. This is where it gets tricky. Really force a projectile for Rainer, or do you want to go Harry onto this lineup? I just want Marcel for tower taking. We've already used the Marcel for. It's a very decent hero. What? No way! I can't. No way! No way I did that.
Coach Lembach, yes only.
Because our battle trips, our guests.
Hey,
We haven't had a big leader, but
what's his name, Jape? Jape, how you like that?
This is for you. I saw him just jump out of his seat.
That was 40 something, huh? Live on stage.
The entire Filipino press stood up.
This is projectile best, yes.
Yes.
But it's very fragile.
Not the one I'm thinking about. When you think about projectiles used for Marcel, that's all I think about. And you have supply. That is a Sora. You don't know if it's going to do damage or not. But it's going to be such an easy target for the amount of range, or considering the amount of range that AP Ben has, not to mention the zip down. Alright, let's see. I know Smart Omega. I'm sure they have a plan. Let's see if that's going to happen here. Our one, that's you. Mpl Season 17. Hope you guys are ready. Loading in. Yeah, it's going to be so interesting to see. Netsky, though, picking up the ages as well, so this is going to enhance the amount of anti-CC that you can rely on as humanity, because again, the passive is not being able, or your enemy is not being able to use crowd control against you once you have your shields up. And this is a fighter Mpl kind of at that. So we're definitely going in for a bit more of a survival. Really, this is not too bad, not unless.
Shows as you let's get out close to the region.
I'm pretty sure we're going to be reintroduced a very difficult quality later phase. One of the reasons why just doesn't get past in general.
Forces and ages out of That's fine.
Yeah, at least that's really good. But that's what really talking about in terms of the struggles that you would definitely have to face as the RB later on. And considering that this is going to be in Marcel, in the room, you could expect a bit more of a passive start or gameplay for Smart Omega. And that's something we mentioned a while ago. I think that should have done.
I don't know the delayed job out of the night from James Franks. Turns down. That was 3 seconds off the turtle.
So initially, it looks like Happy Red does have a lot of control, and she has a lot of confidence as well in that lady phase.
Oh, here's a Priscilla. With freeze at the white brush, a lot of damage coming in front of the guy. Taking down scores.
James actually try his damnedest to make sure that he can get out. The problem is so strong for Omega. Yeah, that was the flicker from Nathan, and I think it's not going to be as fast as he thought for Smart Omega. So I think he tried to do something there, though. This is how you see Smart Omega starting to really group up early on. You see at least 3 members rotating in the early game. It benefits them so well in capitalizing on the Marcel passive. Yeah, so they have one guy who needs to stay passive, right? But everyone else for Omega feels like they want to go turbo on this one.
It's one of the things we flickered in just to secure that 10 Angeles Max.
Resource usage, especially early on, no doubt about it. Even Brand feels like they should be the guys getting ahead.
Oh, from 30 Dean.
They push back.
Okay, I'm with the show here in 4-1. Just leave empty in and now pressure coming in to turn out and flapping out the momentum. Right away. But now James Ryan is attempting to get on out of there, but a little too much to ask to survive underneath tier 1. He trades for Nova.
Yes, that was a really good punish shown to us by AP Brand, bringing you under the turret. So even despite that good country play supposedly for Smart Omega, courtesy of Perk Siva, you already have no way out at the moment. And that was a kill that was they got, if I'm not mistaken, they got James. Was it James Plant that they got? Or was it Ryzen? Right, yeah. They got Ryzen to jungler, and that is definitely gonna be really important for them, not in terms of goals just yet though, and that's a batch we're talking about, so we could just get back farming really fast.
And they do that exactly as you said. Right now, James Banks, reason why you pick a Suryo, you gotta make it known, you gotta let it be felt on the map, because right now, it just feels like he is just going on his usual route, not really exerting that much pressure.
Can't cross the river. That was one of the keys to victory here. You cross the river, you gain more than your opponents. AP Brand, it's not what they're doing. And what is he doing? Long term, what even happens? Before you can see come through. And this is fighting out.
He's definitely, so he's definitely getting in. He's not also punished just yet by AP Brand.
Here you see the answer from Aqua. Let's see if I can snap up. Get that out of there. And there's another remember the ocean. James Brand is taken out by James once more. And two taken down Rosa. 2 for 3. KLBJ welcome back to the Philippines. The king gets taken out.
That's a huge way to make a splash. Despite, of course, KLBJ going out pretty early on in that fight, but it's like Omega got exactly what they wanted.
This is set up. Perk Siva just taking pictures of every single member of AP Brand. He has no problem with going in, standing beside everyone, and getting out as if nothing happened. And that amount of information helps them so much.
Reach out of Nova, compromising the Kalia's entry. James gets a push off cam, and if that's the hands where you would have that bottom as well. The answer, the first one shot coming through the freeze. Nova, attack, but he doesn't take it down. In from Joe, Donald England right and Valor through. AP Brand clamped back.
Yep, they needed that play. Oh, let's see.
They're not done. They want that. See, they find him. James Fox scores 4 for 3 over to the Hive.
All of a sudden, all that setup just going down the drain here. Omega trying to get something back.
Can't take down Nova. Take it out. Stop 3.
Okay. That was a very unexpected play from KLBJ. I feel Omega did not really expect that to come in. That's another Skype user pickup as well for James Pack despite the early 2 deaths. I think he got this after anyway. So this is gonna be like one stack right now. So let's take a look at that instant replay which just happened. And this is where they probably had no idea that KLBJ was gonna go in. He used a flicker to get in from a surprise angle. And every other member of AP Brand was ready, especially the blazing duet from Shiro. And that's exactly what they needed. It was to somehow counter-attack. Because it's always Smart Omega who's starting to fight.
Going again. Well, keep going here. Again, I think earlier in the team fight, Smart Omega might have gotten a false sense of security. Like, oh, guys, we gotta leave. We're probably doing the team fight. Like, oh, you gotta soar on the field. You cannot let me back out anymore.
He was part of that scores all 3 turtles, and they should go ahead and try to correct that fumble down bottom. James is gonna push. So far, we see Omega is proactive. First catches him. They're going young dog. Shingo the silence. Trying to get him out of there. And he gets silenced by Ryzen. And the real world manipulations takes him down.
Purify Hughes placing BMI also down.
and even the real world manipulation moves just to make sure they get that kill. That's how smart Omega, that's how committed smart Omega was in terms of that shutdown. Now they're going up again. The program rules.
All these folks are thinking, Nova has to reach his injury. Oh, the prison torrent center! He can take it down by Netsy a little too soon. Empty Bren were too far apart.
They'll be very happy to just keep going. Just pick up those fabulous. Omega are loving that one. Every time there's someone isolated, they just go for it. Yeah, and they want to keep this kind of gameplay because this is when AP Bren will definitely struggle to find openings or to prioritize Netsky because Omega always just catches them by surprise. Placida just suddenly shows up at the pull of anyone they see, and in those kinds of moments, how do you deal with Netsky, who at this point is just pushing to find up?
Yeah, for Netsky, I really want to just... I am with him on this one. I feel like Omega will eventually be able to just introduce so much chaos in the first hour that you will eventually lose track of this guy, especially if someone knows that, oh, this guy is card controlling me, I can't touch him. I'll probably switch off his next target. I'm hoping that's what goes well to Nesky, but if you're 80 Bren, I feel like you should not fall for that trap. We have to keep going. We have to keep just breaking him down. We have force the ages, compromise his position. Who's going to do that? I think most reliably, James Banks.
James Banks, damage to somehow brings him down if he wanted to too. Because even if let's say you don't immediately catch him with the setup for Kel VJ, because again there is still the possibility of the ages and Netsky just suddenly getting to immune himself. Oh, is that your card?
That works. Nothing else. The Phoenix comes back in, secures the Lord. Those are very low, no, they're not going anywhere. Omega got away with it. Omega got what they want. Realization. Think they can stop the VJ from the escape. Opera. Come out of middle notice, so she goes to position. Here comes James throwing out those blinds.
I am being humbled by how well this cell is getting used by Perksy. This is like a masterclass of how to use it. He doesn't even care about those projectile things. He just wants to isolate. He just wants to control. Also, I didn't expect him to be spamming the recalls. He was the person who I was describing as a very quiet player before we entered this match. And look at how he's utilizing this Marcel. So I feel like the range has doubled for Smart Omega because it goes in a bit too deep and it doesn't matter for them. He's always okay.
He's so in your face right now. Look at that. He was diving in. And looks like they want to keep going. Catches Shizo in Nova. Defensive use of the Power Phoenix. Charge forward. On out to VJ. Rolling. Already used up. Couple stuns. Goes now stunning. It's stopping his turret. Granted, it's hard, but if you get away with the top, penetrated. That's top lane push.
Ryzen for a inhibitor feels like a pretty good trade now. They have a point of control. That we can kind of just keep going in there. And we have a bit of Hanabi Ipsy reference to Mpl Ph after we played in S14. Is this the Lolita Hanabi combo? There's a lot of people who practice it. This isn't paired with anyone.
It's a high game phenomenon. Talking about record phenomenon, Hanabi is one of the highest win rate heroes right now.
The Nets team, like, I don't need anyone else.
This is a direct game, by the way.
No, far from it.
Different.
And of course, the game marks the first game where Sora was split here. Yes! Yesterday, I think it was always bound. Oh, okay. So Yin is the only guy for 17 seasons which we did not pick yet. We'll get there eventually. It's okay. We have a lot more seasons. Don't worry, Yin. You'll get your turn. So, I'm talking I want to see like how do we show that on broadcast for a very long time now. Never get to see it. Anyway. Oh, like the old. Yeah, right. So going back in with the items, looks like the house is doing pretty well for itself.
Yeah, it jumped straight from Swift into Element of Nature. So now suddenly the only person who heard him is Aqua the only magic damage source too for me. And I'm just trading out some turrets every now and then, but we're past the point where not even that single holy shield that they had that bottom matters anymore. Extra value. Nova needs to actually find a very
All of the news for the night bursting down the Lord right now. Stopping the entry for Email James. At third duty, thou shalt not enter, thou shalt not pass. Attack by Omega. 5K goes up.
That's huge. That is clean.
Because how do you, like the only guy who you assigned to be like the information taker or the contact person not do anything. He's the first person who should go in, but all Quicksilver did was use the golden arm. By the time the Lord was already low, so no one could really contest the word from Sword Omega.
Especially if you have like full information of where the jungler is going to come from. You cast that golden out, it's a huge AoE, and you're just going to stop him on his tracks. It's almost impossible to contest.
It'd be really short on us. What we're trying to say. We only have one way to enter, and pick one. It's such an honest and difficult situation to be. Omega, tapping down across all three lanes. Top lane already down, mid lane follows through, bottom lane. If you get over the clear, I think fine.
I think it has a fine too, especially since we haven't actually seen Shizu and TLBG James Sensible actually all games and the different guys yet. So I hope that Omega's ready to that because it feels like it can happen in a moment. And it could catch for spots where it's always with the martial arts. It would play out in this in the last few minutes. Yeah, and this is such big thing I see from Omega. They're not even forcing anything after they got the low half HP, or especially after Ryzen got the low 50%. But now it's such an easy task for them to just find another way to engage because it's a faction that we're talking about, and we have this left down bottom that they could definitely work on. But again, you mentioned the potential for the late game scaling that AP could potentially show later on is something you have to take into account. And the timings for Maintain at this point, especially with the Divine Glaive pickup, they might want to take advantage of that right now because that's something AP Gen might be a bit lacking as of this point. It's the magic that you're expecting to see from Afra being the only source of that. It's really hard to expect. I was actually like that as well. But it's just young. Like the scaling of this hero just as much as you can throw everything. It's just a wall. It's just a limit, right? All I can do. It's all you can throw so many wall crystals, so many blind repeats. Then I think that is the best you can do right now. Or maybe a holy crystal might be in I think that's for grabs. It's really that's all you can do that. The skill on it as a reach. And it's unfortunate because I feel like there could have been one good three of the famous plays earlier during that last defense. But it just so happened that the turret went down by the time he was already able to cast it too. So there weren't much opportunities for a punish. If you don't, if you want to split out of it and not allow the golden R to stop the only chance at entry.
The problem with spreading out is you can't answer. You can't use Phoenix offensively. 9 out of 10 dealing with masses in this 16 game, you're defensive. That's true.
So you get that one on the Phoenix, right? Yeah. It looked like it was going to be offensive, but it became defensive.
Yeah, this Lord Dogs is about to break out. Soft reset, showed at about half health. AP Runner clumped up. I've never seen them do this. Not in the game. In the Cubs part, looking for the golden hour and the snapping. Now there's Bingwin. She's a jet them, and she's a very low James. And the man defense Ryzen trying to break into there. We back in the ocean is good for James Banks. AP Run gets a big win. Defense coming in. And he might even get away with murder.
Who's doing it? Man, I'm actually surprised. Great calls from both Aqua and Nova. They knew who to target, so they couldn't really put up that box. Moving, going down, and every other level following up, 12 VJ, Shizo, making sure that they were able to deal the necessary damage on key targets, meant that AP Ben found their opening, had the control over that Lord bit, especially with the Golden R already forced out. So who
would have thought by the 17-minute mark, it's now AP10 finally evening out the map. And that was all from one assassination play attempted by Nova and James Pan. So I conceal. They got Mingrin.
Great. Without Mingrin, this line does not work. I think that's what AP and now maybe have to go. What's next? How do we stop it? Cap.
Okay. Bodyguard mode, I guess. But that seems to be on the plan there. But now, all of a sudden, it's Omega on the defensive. And they have to make something happen here. Now, it feels like AB Bren, the mission now is very clear. Not Mingrin. Ibetsky's such a hard target. He feels like it's the next best thing. And just repeat that. It feels like it's a recipe for disaster for Omega.
Furthermore, now maybe that Alpha finally has the Holy Crystal, and surprisingly, a potion pickup for James Packs as well.
Is that rich?
For some reason, we've been seeing potions picked up a lot more often
Compared to like stacking up your money and swapping out, buying and selling.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's going to be a trend from now on. But now, especially with Alpha Deathless, we are seeing some signs of hope for AP Bren. If they get to replicate that same pattern of forcing out those crucial spells, finding out these key pickups, then I think they will be in good hands with James Pants on the killing spree. He really died again since we last saw him pick up the Sky Piercer too, so gradually maybe you get to see the stacks come in, and that becomes a lot more easily picked up.
And more loyal than we need to reverse it.
And most of that is, of course, very reliant on James Pants not screwing up. You're not getting found out. So these are very conditional things. You can still gotta keep it tight and keep that formation in. Make sure that you have Nova in your back. Just feel like without Nova, it's hard to fall apart.
As it is. I'm tempting. I'm a Grand Theft Purple. No dice, says James Vance. That's my buff. I can't take my watch money. So it's clear. I think the answer is individual type of type. That's been the problem for the first two lords to spread out. So now the answer is they always have to be ready to answer back. These part of Megas are in the movement.
That's true. So now we're back in with purchase on the side. Looking for here.
Yeah, he's flashing out his.
Okay, Nova's not with anyone just yet. He's too far away.
I would catch a straggler maybe. Everyone has to there. That's possible.
Fusion light impression.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Or something else.
It seems like a concept is going to the point of no return. Very soft reset, slowly rotating closer. Looking for one, jumping into the flicker. Gets a pair of demons. Collapse on the Mingrin. Down goes the Eve. This is the BJ now after 1 and 3. He's looking to get the top by James. Goggles and tries and finds him. And now he Banks is the next target for the Barangay. Rising to his Banks. Banks doesn't rise. And James West wins KO.
No way! No way they made that work 2 times in a row! I am flabbergasted! That is huge!
And now that and this only started happening once we made it to the 18-minute mark. So AP Bren enjoyed everything for 18 whole minutes. Since they knew that they already had enough damage, that they could already position themselves well enough across the map. That play they did, starting off with both KLVJ and Nova, took time. Too much time that Omega probably thought that they had full control over everything in terms of the Lord Pit. But being one of these last few survivors, he did not disappoint.
When it really mattered, when that scenario, without James Vance's extraordinary micro, it feel like that would have fallen apart. Yes. The issue bars were just so massive after the initial gank from Nova that if it wasn't for James Vance's heroics, that actually could have been a disaster as well.
Yeah, by the time James Vance already took out the other members, Percival had a bit more HP back since because of the Guardian Helmet,
but he chose not to engage anymore because of the risky for them to
Once you're forced to use that goes now defensively. Here's the demon power mentality. Here comes the blazing. Not much of a follow through as Gary goes in the thunder form, forcing back all of Smart Omega.
a huge wash. I'm surprised that was a wash. I was expecting someone to go down there. But yeah, it was halfway.
Look at that. Fortunate for that snapshot. Not enough of a response from Smart Omega.
I see only now in the hands of AP Bren to grow the more, but Omega will be denying any more pickups for AP Bren. So I think Penguin definitely has to start paying attention really to its surroundings. And I don't want to blame him entirely because Penguin and Metsky always have to stick together in the very, very back lines of formation because you don't want to get caught in whatever counter attack AP Bren might do. But now it's starting to hurt because they're in the very, very back lines of the formation. It's much easier for Nova whenever he finds that perfect entry to gain access to these heroes, to land those tsunami slams on Penguin. But fortunately, he has the winter crown already, so that might help in case it happens again. At this point, that's the obvious. It's so obvious that Penguin and Letsky's together. It's obvious that they're going to try to go for the back line, right? Because it hasn't been working in the front line. You know, Persina has been so excellent in keeping that in shape, keeping that in control. So you're right. Maybe the winter crown will help. I don't know how much time that will buy against a James Paxson just going jumping left, right, and center.
Same situation.
Positions.
Rotations.
Or maybe
Position of Nova is from that flank again, and she's going to come in for a late entry. And now it's going to exit front of the north.
yeah. So this is the thing that I see from Florida. But Zima might want to stand a bit closer to these heroes so he could use his skills defensively. But the Lord's already low. Fortunately, reset. Where is Nova again? We have to think, where is Nova? We're looking for Nova. I don't think they have any idea where he is. That's why they're doing this so much until the point that Nova is going to be spotted out.
In that midpoint is where he actually uses the conceal, so that's where Omega might try to catch him out. James?
Oh, he's
Oh, we see you now, Sakura.
and now they can kind of just go at it, but there is still going to be some
It just works. They go ahead and try to gank Nova while leaving the Lord open. Fans and LBJ are working on it. Alright, we're not fast enough between the both of them.
now they lost control, and these, with James too far away, AP Bren are now trying to break down the objective rises.
Oh no, they're out of time. Rising up less than half health. Ziva comes in. They're going to push back. Lord here at an eighth of its health. Nova looking for someone to hit the tsunami slam on. Here the Phoenix catches four. This is looking better. Great big run. But James Paxson able to recover. Ziva taken down. No swing so far. Omega turns on him. He goes. The Hive are alive. James spread out from his teammates. AP Bren are just waiting for the inevitable.
Yeah, James Pat's just going to make sure that he makes sure that James does not go back. There's the cleanup, there's the wipes out, and the game win to the Hive in game number 1. 25 minutes before AP Bren finally turned things around. What a play! And we were also talking about how, yeah, Zijan and the damage might feel like that's about it, but in that last flash, I felt like we saw a lot more from the Zetian because the setup of the clouds did not land.
It's not about the damage of the Zetian either. It's the combo, it's a threat of getting hit by the clouds and the Fury of the Phoenix.
Yeah.
Thinking about all this overloads you, and again, just a reminder, this is their map. AP Bren chose dangerous grass. So they have done this kind of lord dance and this fight thousands of times before today.
It feels like that, especially on lower courts, right? I guess you could kind of give him benefit of that, but in the early game, I could really just have that this whole time Marcel to just control each and every team fight. But after that was basically circumvented by Nova and by everyone else in coordination with the Purity Phoenix, it looked like there was just no conflict.
It looked like we were finally seeing how effective the Marcel was when they always had things their way. But when AP Ren, when James Hacks were finding those setups, were finding those targets, you could not feel the threat of the Marcel anymore. It was always being forced out. And James Hacks, commendable performance on the Suyo, definitely being a lot of times one of the last few guys left whenever whenever a team fight finally ends. It's too reliable when it comes to the cleanup, and having that early Sky person really pointed out. Now you could say it was definitely worth it in the end.
It wasn't just the hero that gave him also that moniker. That's a bajillion moves.
The man with the million.
Oh, sorry, the million. Not bajillion. Maybe it was, yeah. Maybe it was. But yeah, I think this is one of the reasons why he's just so known for that. He's able to just maneuver in and out of the battlefield in the right moments. Like, if you play a studio, if I played the studio, probably would be.
Yeah. To add to that, maybe there's a lot more impact that we got to see from Shizu compared to the Hanabi. Because the Hanabi felt more like a liability when it came to the late game, in the sense that you don't really get to gain access to AP Bren or your targets. Because again, we did mention the common formation that Tournament always went for. It's having Netsky and Penguin in the back line, and having Prince, James, and Ryzen always show up, somehow threatening AP Bren and forcing them to not contest or do anything. But that's exactly why you didn't feel much of a threat from Netsky.
Omega only really had one advantage. Three up front, two in the back. If you get rid of two in the back, it's over. So that's why they struggled in the late game. If there was a point of improvement here, or with the threat of possibly being called the Barangay Hater, I think they scrubbed the early to mid. They were winning early to mid so well, I think they could have gone faster.
They could have gotten more out of that.
They could have won right then and there when they penetrated the top.
I guess they didn't force their luck. They kind of just lost out. They lost the momentum that they built. They spent 15 minutes building.
They let AP Ren leave. They let them get their feet back.
The quote-unquote unique picks have not been winning since yesterday. Even Big Marcel remains fabulous.
Oh, just she and gold, no.
And the Leslie.
Leslie, no.
That's a shame. I hope that our coaches watching don't get too disheartened. Like, yeah, no, please.
It's 17 for the world, like, oh, we do better.
It's just excellent, again, in the hands of excellent players here. It feels like the Suyo, it feels like the difference between the Hanabi and the Quad. It's like the Hanabi who walk the canyon, they have to take care of so much. And then the Quad is like a strike helicopter, you move in and out, right? So it's a huge advantage if you get a good lead, but in the overall fight, looks like Shizu really did get even more efficiency in the fight.
Because when Shizu goes in, he doesn't go in alone. And it's like if you're Netsky, your teammates have to set up for you before you actually get to throw out the damage that you already have. I think he has a lot, but you really get to see it from Netsky because of, again, a lot of the positions and the limitations of their lineup. But it's nothing that's and it's nothing he couldn't. It's nothing they couldn't really work on. It's just. I mean, we saw the adjustments gradually coming in. Like the positions for Sivas were changing, or
more defensive. But when AP Bren saw that, they too were decided to just go in. And it's caught them off guard. Yeah, it was just Orlando, I think, AP Bren rather, thinking on their feet a lot and coming up with a game plan. I think I'm tired of getting punched and bullied by this Marcel. Do something different. That doesn't do it. Once they saw it work, let's do that again. Yeah. I'm glad to see that Nova's a lot more calculated now because prior season 17, I feel like when we saw him in the qualifiers, there have been a lot of comments about like how too aggressive he was. So this is a great start for Apex. Nova definitely outplayed, just like you outplaying the rest with the Influence GT30 featuring the GT trigger for lightning fast reactions and MLB certified 120 FPS for ultra smooth control. Dominate the game with Influence GT30, the power behind every Muslim mover.
Also, the power behind our Ableton page is very fun to use to compete.
Excellent. Look for the FPS. Your eyes, you won't go back. Look for dominate the Ableton. You need a connection that never lets you down. Scouting rotations, tracking the pros, stay online, and in the zone.
Power Up and Smart Powerall 99 get 10 gigs of data for MLB your favorite apps. Plus, unlimited Facebook. That's right. With Smart Powerall 99, we can share every GT moment with Smart and simply reliable partner of the MPL.
Huge. Thank you so much for our partners, allowing us to experience MLB at the highest level and in the smoothest way possible. Thank you. So going back into this one, I'm excited for game number 2. Please, coaches, if you're watching, don't get keep coming. I really think the wrestling has a spot somewhere in our current menu where it's only carrying Claude winning.
Leslie the Surreal one specific counter to a clock before.
It used to be like really dominating early game, right? Even yesterday against the carry, it passed really well versus Nike when it was in the hands of dominant card. But I'm also yes, you're right. We get to see the idea, but then it's interesting how these parts now still get picked up despite the presence of, in this case, a lot of dark heroes. Yesterday, against a Lapu and now against the Suyo, against the Rain, the Bezetia, and even the Sora. So, even though you feel like there's a chance you can play against that lineup, you're forced to play safe, like too safe. So I don't know if that's the way we want to go, but it's change everything.
I think that's a problem. They played safe when they should have wished it all to finish sooner and go to match point.
So maybe
I'm gonna find that out.
not to play too safe.
Yeah, no. Rest of the wall, end at 16.
We'll see. Maybe they'll do that here in game number 2. Fingers crossed. For the meantime, Australia, the payout, you guys did it real.
Grabbing start ng Saturday natin. Game 1 pa lang between AP Bren and Omega. And I'm sure I'm here with Shell and Jen. Ang mga bees for AP Bren and Jen. I wanna ask, kamusta kayo after that game 1? Well, before that, I just wanna say, what's up, bees? So as you can see po, our bees here po is really hot up na. Especially we've got our first win po. Also our Fancy Club and also got our first win po. So that's why we are really happy, grateful, and so much excited po for today. And syempre, ramdam kayo excitement na yun. But first, we wanna ask for other bees sa ibang platforms makakapag-connect ang ating ibang mga super fans with you guys. Ayan guys, kung gusto na po ng maraming updates regarding sa ating mga players and ganap sa ating AP Brand, kindly join. I-invite ko po kayo na mag-join sa ating Facebook group na official The Hub. So, nasa screen niyo po ang ating QR code kung paano po kayo makakapag-join. So, ayan po, scan nyo lang para makapag-join po kayo. And of course, ano ba yung mga dapat nilang abangan? Meron ba tayong dapat abangan na mga watch parties and community arrangement, dapat abangan natin mga
Tagaytay pa 4Bs.
Yes po, sa ating mga community activity, para po sa ating mga AP brand ticket holders, sa mga nag-buy po ng t-shirt, for any matches this season, you may claim your loyalty card at the merch book po sa ating labas po. So, this loyalty card, magkakaroon po kayo ng chance to get freebies, ito po, freebies, and join po ng ating raffle. Gadget lang for sure to at the end of the season. So, kung ticket holder kayo, huwag niyo kakalimutan na i-claim ang inyong loyalty card. And of course, kanina mo pa hawak yung napakagandang t-shirt na yan, Jen. Ngayon, gusto namin tanongin, saan ba pwede makakuha ng merch ang ibang mga bees?
Of course, guys, you can pre-order our latest merch from here on jersey, the baseball jersey, but we have here our 18th logo, 18th logo, and then also you can customize your IGN and also number po. Pwede nyo po kayong bumili or mag-pre-order po, here lang po sa ating booth outside po. You may contact our Facebook page, The Hives Closet po.
And with that, Game 1 will be proceeding to Game 2. Jen, excited na ba kayo?
So much excited po!
Let's go! Back to you guys! There we go. I'm pretty sure they're very excited. They got their first win of the season, and they're absolutely right. If you're in for merch, excellent swag they got. We got a huge area here in Victoria Sports Tower. Please drop it. They're the only ones with that baseball-like jersey.
Yeah.
This season. Actually, two.
One for home, one for away, double X.
You know what? There you go. So take it in, just like how they are taking in the win. Excellent form for Amy Brand. I now am a firm believer and will double down on the first key to victory for Smart Omega, which is to play fast against Amy Brand. But now we realize, no, really. Amy Brand really took their time. I'm thinking if they could have played the early game better. Because it was always the Marcel starting things up. Granted that we were on a Suyo and the Korean, but
Everybody worked with what they had.
yeah. Shout out to, of course, Indian. And of course, a big shout out to our Kaparangays and their with Copper. Oh, about to have your watch party as well. They're the ones who are now very firmly gripping their seats, hoping for an Omega victory.
Shout out to those in Barangay Nagkaisang Nayon as well.
Nice, they are.
There's like 3 different barangays who are coordinating their efforts to show support, maybe take us to game 3. One Omega chooses to go blue and go into expanding over. So, hey, second half choice seems to be consistent. It's always yes.
If you want to go fast, that's what you do. Right? So I think that is an excellent game plan. They want to go faster than they do on game number 1, which I think we talked about it regularly and touched about it as well. Completely agree. I would love to see an Omega coming in hard, and I know they already got their win. Sorry, there's skirmish wins. I want them to go ahead and close it out. I want to see that nail in the coffin. I want to know if they're able to do it. I think they can't do it. It seems a bit too comfortable. Like, even when we got that first massive turnaround play, because of his setup on the Sora, I feel like he's very comfortable with supposedly playing things fast, which we'll hopefully get to see from AP Brand this time, as they're currently at match point. Not what I expected entirely, but let's see how Omega capitalizes on the blue side and their map choice. So the block taken to the value of the The party on the eve still can be first night Omega.
Eve 1, Omegun, and then 80 bread answers. As long as the Zepka and Eve plate is there,
Yeah.
I'll try.
All right. So obviously the Valentino band is trying to already.
Because you're thinking,
Oh no! Wait a second.
oh,
That's what I'm saying with the Valentino band, maybe Sora. Yeah, Sora might be one of the prime pick as well.
red 1 or red 1 and 2 Sora. AP bread if we're going Eve 1 for Mega.
I would take that. Yeah, might be. Yes. So also though, like a lot of rivers are available too, if ever. Honestly, the hotel will be open if ever it doesn't get taken out here. So that can be an option as well.
Nancy has been itching for a while.
So even the Kalea. The Kalea that's taken out instead.
That's their Kalia, by the way.
I would love to see the hill do a pick up by Omega because those are the heroes that will stop James Banks in his tracks. I think that James Banks got a little bit too gnarly here in this game.
So Frank's going to put on a little JP show.
I don't mind seeing the Marcel again though. It was really good from Quicksilver.
Yeah, it's not like they lost because of the Marcel.
Yeah, it was excellent. Thinking about it, a lot of options out there. Without the Valentino though, I wouldn't really know. But like,
Not bad.
that's how you want to go. That's spicy.
That's a breakout fanny out of MSC 2022. Malaysia saw Rising's fanny. Yeah, the video was still around then.
It was,
Who knows?
was it?
It was. That was in the wake of season 9.
I don't know. I'd have gotten the tail end of it. There's no Kalea, but again, there's still the Hilda. If AP don't pick it up for themselves.
When the fan is there. I rarely see fannies open up like this anymore.
It's so crazy because the panic kind of just forces you to go for like on target. Yeah, crowd control. So is great. Because if you don't answer it, it usually gets great. So like is the Phoenix. Maybe if also if Lincoln sticks with the matchup, we'll be seeing that. So other than that could be really protect the army. If the Marcels are still available, but it's gonna be tricky considering the burst damage you're starting to see. The net roll from Smart over AP Bren looks like it's not really well for KLBJ earlier. It's nice that we finally took it out of his hands. Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
I don't know, it's great. It reflects into next week.
Yeah. Ooh, I would love to see a road sword. Let's go ahead and get crazy. But yeah, I'm actually kind of on the Marcel. Because it might make it more difficult for the final to maneuver if you're avoiding the golden hour timing. It might mess up your combo. And also 3 mid-hero picks for AP Bren. Leonard for James Punks.
I like it.
Yeah,
Fast trail.
you could, so the team fights are gonna get so messy here. For sure. That's
my problem.
that's the play by play on that kind of team fight feels like it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to it already.
You can polish his guns right now.
Shizo and Denzi's gonna play. I think it's gonna be very interesting about this answer.
Obviously for Shizo,
Each side rises when I give
you
the
don't
word.
mind the quad just because you kind of just work around the Sora.
You're actually open, right? Claude, Carrie, Darius.
Vengeance incarnate.
I was gonna say Moscow too.
Oh, I remember, yeah, Moscow was great against Sam as well.
Yeah.
Moscow's yesterday were,
He has built-in responses to her mobility.
you can't just go really that good right whenever you choose. Unless they go Visor Piper. But when you talk about fighting, the fail's already gone. don't see much movies coming anymore too. And I feel like it's harder to carry her. You don't carry.
For you to Ruby, kind of want to use your chin kind of younger. Already, you know.
Or he's such okay, I'm not gonna knock it. I've seen it in different leagues as well. You were, it's a possibility. Yeah. Even in the Filipino broadcast, they just say that you see it mostly in sprints, in like tours like this. And so,
Your screens and things, like back before it even became a thing in the jungle.
and the other way this week. Twice. Yesterday too, right? Lost twice. And yesterday lost also. Oh, there you go. So, again, just don't get discouraged, coaches. We love to see kind of those kinds of mechanics. Just don't force double actually if you're not comfortable with it. So they took out a lot of their own picks. I think the Brock is gone. Oh, the Brock's gone too. So like, Kurtz was left with like maybe the Gatos or the Marcel again. Oh, that's true. One of the team I expected to do the show.
Okay. This is Pat chose.
Oh, is it true or is it Kurtz? Or is it? I think it is.
The first show, there it is. No questions asked. That's James Sora and Nancy Harris. Outbreak is in the building.
So we're going to see if any of Daddy JP's show play seeped over Mr. Perks.
On him.
Yeah. If I go blame, I'm still going to go plot. Because what's left? It's just a claude.
The master of the best choice. Great read by Coach Rudolph.
It feels like claude. That's like the shoes comfort, right? Unless they go, not Leslie, right? Or something. Yeah. But they might be discouraged. I don't know. It's a claude. I'm sure they were debating with it with each other for quite a few seconds and then decided, it's a claude day. It worked earlier anyway. They were able to stretch it long to a 25-minute game. And mind you, it's been like that since yesterday. Like all first games have always been 20 plus. Even yesterday, we only had a 30-minute game when they fought against Mr. Mines. So for most games 20 to 30. I think their average is really high.
Yeah, we got a couple of 12 games yesterday.
Alright. So that's that. So we're going to do it, guys. This is game number 2, AP Brand, with probably one of their hottest starts this season. I don't remember. I can't even recall the time AP Brand got like such an early win. Yeah. I think like even for the storylines towards the end of the regular season, right? It's always been, can they finally get a win? Finally get a win. Finally. For how many seasons that happened? So let's go.
It's been a long off season for AP Brand.
The changes and everything. Let's go to game number 2. Right, so pretty much still the E forming in here. Fighter Emblem again on the pod. I think I was gonna from even months ago or even N7 already been something good labels like to pick up just to ensure that there will be a bit more.
Look at the takedown Aqua. Aqua's not gonna have it.
I like how we see Marcel on person now a true. That's pretty much the same in terms of playstyle. Look at how he just goes in and out and forces reactions out of AP2. Yeah, very in-your-face gameplay. Yeah, right? I love that. And I also love the new family skin. Oh, black is so good. Later on, once you see him flying all over everyone, and flying,
Oh my lord! Oh, flicking it on that brush. It's as if he didn't have the passive that is chunky in there. Able to hold it down as well. Neither team want to rotate too fast because of Gear Fence. They're for steal. That's what he's level 4.
They're slowly creeping in to make sure that they can put some pressure on that really early on as well. Yeah, he's I think Ranzan's just approaching level 4, maybe picking the first top 2. Not level 4 yet. Why is it not level 4 yet? No, he just got. So if he win, it seems like it's moving a bit faster for Zen this time around. Whoa, I want to get the piece.
Yeah, and Nova collapsed down onto James, forcing a flicker. And just like that, AP Grim now gets on over the turtle pit.
That's really being good. Yes, a little scary. Now he's going to be in trouble as well.
James, in thunder form, gets clapped by AP's Grim. 3 members are the Grim from Cap. They're going to protect. We have him in lane. And all this while, James Banks focusing on the turtle. Receiver, they're going to stop him. James Banks does have a reputation, and it's good. AP Brand scores.
Did you see where Aqua used that person? It was right in front of both Penguin and Perciva. He didn't care. No fear whatsoever. Well, I think he still had to purify and was able to get out. And the fact that they already forced a team fight down bottom meant that. Oh my god!
Perciva finds one, but the answer from AP Brand is absolute. Thou shalt not do that.
Call an ambulance, it's not for me. Okay. Next, that again, James X was too free to take the objective for himself, and now we're seeing how AP Brand has decided to respond to the Fanny. The presence of a Hilda and the Arlot, that's not necessarily needed for the full-on invades, but just enough to get the information so they could coordinate well enough. KLBJ on an early 3-0 is not something you want to see. KLBJ definitely was so good, right? Like, just has so much potential. He's been actually playing this very smoothly, even despite getting ranked over and over again down here.
He's a perfect hero to actually sandbag great people. He can afford it. I mean, him and Nova's busy buying music for the map. Another kid, 5 cards at the answer from AP Brand. Aqua with a third airstrike and no one home. Nova able to survive. Run, kill, run! Ryzen checks out his former teammate.
That time it was 1-1, but earlier it feels like it's always another making an exchange or making a place, but they're the ones getting punished. For now, at least he's not totally behind. Still, all of a sudden, same with James Pants. We're not seeing a lot of the action together with James Pants just yet, but that's the thing. Once he decides to join, things could go a bit more different for APs. Unfortunately for Smart Omega, they're being very picky with who they want to target. Even earlier, just now, it felt like they really wanted to go for a Nova. Looks fine so far. It's Ryzen still on the hunt for some kills, and Perks trying to catch someone before the turtle starts. They can get a big advantage to secure that turtle. But now, you know what? AP Brand's not flushing. They're not letting anything go here. Perks is gonna find someone again.
Another kickoff angle. It's on Nova. Aqua just as quickly pops in their strike. And James Banks pushed out of the turtle pit, and he gets the bonus. Here goes James and Perks. 2 for 9 plus the turtle. Thank you very much. Ryzen gets on the docket. Able to dash on through, goes a long way around. Aqua might have gotten him on the way out, but AP Brand are looking good.
Yeah, could that have been a bit of an moment?
Ryzen! Oh boy, the secure is orange.
Oh yeah. I'm not sure if the others were ready when Perciva actually went in for that kick. Oh, there's another way of the dragon.
Aqua steals it on the way out and denying Perks any action. AP Brand, they're feeling it.
Yeah, I feel like I get where we're saying, right? The angle was a little off. In that initial cap, where the start with everything. So I think they were just not ready quite yet to receive. They weren't ready, and they had little to no information that KLVJ could go in for a counter final slash. And I think that's what really hurt them in that team fight. Because as much as they had some real world manipulation to somehow deal with things and damage control, it was the feathered airstrike, it was the already very low on HP members of Smart Omega that allowed AP Brand to win that fight. And AP Brand looks like they can do no wrong here, or is it just me or Perks Zebra? just these catches don't seem to be working. Like the past three catches this season.
It feels like he's trying to open a coconut with a plastic spoon. Like you see something happening, but what is it you expect to get if it's the same angle, the same person, the same situation, three times in a row?
Yeah, because even if you just look at the pairing or the hero synergy between the Tro and the Eve, it's not like you could get an immediate pick off with that. And they've been using the Way of the Dragon as a starter for every single team that we've seen in the past 7 minutes of the game. So might they want to change things up a bit, or at least make sure that they're equipped with enough damage, especially when the target is Nova. Because it's always been Nova.
You know what, James? It's time to step up. I feel like James is the guy. The Sora, take that more informed engagement. See what happens. But we've been asking for damage. Is it really the torn form? Maybe you want to look for the thunder? Anyway, lose out on damage if you're Auto Horizon here! And only misses that final slash, so again, he knows at least that's off of cooldown. She's about to walk into a flash with it. Dashes on out. How is that quad so fast? What the hell?
I mean, is it just the expanding rivers?
I think it's the house.
Yeah, that's expanding rivers, right?
Sure.
Okay. Except the current is against, so I don't know why is that fast.
But was it off of out of delivery?
I think yeah,
Like the first stack AOTs?
yeah. It was a wave, so that
But with another kick, no one's having any of this.
full version here for AT Brand. They know what's up. They know what Ryzen is. They know what person. And it's a Radiant Armor pickup that Nova prioritized too. So even if you have to bring in, let's say, Netski for the damage, once you get the Will of the Dragon, 35, it seems like he doesn't even really care about the presence of an early game Fanny. And we're already approaching the mid game too, where it might start to slowly fall off if they're not able to get value out of it. How often do you see teams hunting down the Fanny in this midpoint of the game? That's insane right here.
Good read though. I think because of that, when they were able to push bottom lane tier one, they saw the absence of the rest of them on the map. People look really busy. They push.
And that's something AT Brain hasn't accomplished just yet. They're yet to take down a turret for themselves.
Oh, she's alone. Fast fingers, purified plus blazing to saves himself from almost sure death. And now Aqua failed their strike, pushing back first. And Letsky. In comes the Phantom Steam, the answer. The torrent from James. Over very low, gets swiped away by Cap. Mingwick gets one. But now goes Letsky. He's back looking for more. Oh, he calls it quits. A little too low now, but they will get a push up now.
Yeah, 1 for 2 and finally a turret. So definitely AT been like that.
Alright. Once more, James Pax just refusing to die in these fights, even under the turret. This excellent juggling from AT Brand, able to execute under pressure in that tower.
Yeah, at least I think like Netsky is still getting the necessary form, at least when you look at where he currently at in this game. From Siva, this is gonna be tough.
First got two on him. The first response from Linden. Rozier at about half health. Rising dashing on through. I think Ableton knows where he is. Defense, fine time. First looking for a kick to Flipper. Committed. He's on the shell. Real dashing through the torrent. On the James. And there's his other force. Yeah, James goes down. A little off angle on that real manipulation. No one home. He doesn't get to swipe as many as he wants. 3 kill for AC Brett.
We were looking for another setup from James, but even if it or even when it landed, Nova, his team is from behind. He disrupted formation for the entire barangay, and now it's AP with enough space and enough time to take another turret and even that.
This is sounding a little bloodless, but I guess it's on the box. When you repeat the they have, what do they have? VJ pulls out the weak cards on his former teammate. Is that one more that Barangay has to maybe swap out, maybe change the momentum of this game? Just got shut down like that. It's working so well. VJ on the EXP lane. He hesitates at all. Whenever he does go in, even if the Fanny shows up, especially when a potential threat comes in. Chizo is barely getting away from death. In comes James. Thou shalt not escape my Alpha brings out for a real manipulation coming in from Mingo. VJ Nova flying underneath the pressure. 1-1. So yeah, how could you raise the box when you're forced to use that real world manipulation? Yeah, moments like that. You're seeing the reason why everyone just swapped the Radiant. I saw the three members here swap the Radiant. They're swimming in that real world. They do not care. It's kind of pleasant. It's just tingly. It's tingly. You find it knowing that they forced it out of you rather than you just using it as you please. You know, they sense that there is a trader took them off and it's Ryzen. Alright. Push them off. He's ejected. Ryzen Kevin just knows how to maneuver here, making sure that he is not left behind in this game.
Yeah, at least they do have that. So aside from him, every now and then still getting farm across the map, they'll have ways to deal with waves like this. And this is something AP Bren tried to saw Omega earlier. It was just stretching out the game, but when you look at the late game damage and potential that you could expect, it's really mostly going to be on Nesky. That's true. I think they have a lot of ability to be explosive, especially after maybe 15 or 18 minutes. But then again, can they close out? That's a big question in my mind. Is AP Brand in the mindset to close this out? It feels like they're just chipping away, and they actually go for the finish. Stop a I'm going with a better airstrike. Ryzen trying to bypass. Whatever they were losing back in 2022, they were going to fatty. They do the same things. Look at me. Look at that bad time. Look at me. I'm a big hound. And again, he makes sure that he is able to contribute, even if it's a very later part of the game. At this point, usually, fatties are just so hard pressed. They're always on guard under the buffs. They're not able to push out as much. They're starved. Yeah, they're starved. Let it go to for Shizo, who's being accompanied by Nova constantly, just to make sure that they won't be able to find an opening to pick him off. It seems like Persiva and Netsky have something else in mind, though. The pressure that the Barangays are applying onto the side lanes is working out really well for them, but AP Brand, they don't seem to care. They're just going to press down this word. More down to Cedric's health. Ryzen trying to look for an angle. James captures Aqua, but James backs it forward, and Ryzen gets taken down by Shizo. Or Shizo once more. Aqua with a better dance. He was the one getting us down. And now Purse getting it out of here. Slash, down goes Purse. And now just one more left standing on the side of AP Brand's map is down. Go Siski. James runs from Shizo. Shizo wants you. I go, he survives. Climbs into the bush. Into the orange buff. Dashes on through. Run James roll. And Shizo gets his prey.
Oh my goodness, AP Brand, they wanna end this fast!
How can we do this? Got it! Oh, he gets taken down. It's a wipeout. AP Brand. Oh, that's sweet. Smart. Oh, Omega. Ryzen has it on for hope. It's a 2-0 victory. Oh my goodness. It is the first sweep of the season, and it's from AP Brand against Smart Omega.
It's been so long since we last saw the Hive celebrate this much or this early into the season even. And the King definitely did not disappoint.
Same, yeah, same. You see a smile on his face as he stood up, looking up at that screen. Victory for my team. What a moment. This is gonna go down. This is the best start I've seen from AP in a long time, and I'm all for it. Yeah, big props to Omega. Gonna have to go back to the drawing board. Please don't hesitate. Bring out those new heroes. Did excellent anyway.
And I was happy to see that performance from them too, especially in game one, because they are all on the same page that they definitely had that game back, but maybe a few tweaks here and there, picking up the pace, because even Quicksilver, especially in game one, it was so close. But maybe this is where you start to see the connection between Nova and Apple, and the calls that they make be a bit more synchronized.
And I think we have to accept the fact that the reality of the fact is Omega have two new members. Omega's working on the progress while AP Brent got killed. Yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen, the Bees ay nagpakita ng excellent performance. That was a sweet naman mag-ingay para sa AP Club! Wow! Kaya grabe ang super fans ngayon. I believe na-amaze din sila sa performance ni AP Club. Of course, kahapon puro tayo 3 games, but now opening game, opening match, AP Brand 2-0. Congratulations, guys. And of course, gusto naming malaman, here, BJ, isa kang alamat. We want to know, kamusta? Anong pakiramdam na nakabalik ka na sa Mpl Ph? And of course, ano yung mga nakikita mong mga pagbabago? So, kumbaga, version yan, VJ. Dito natin siya nagbinatan yan. So, iba ang performance ng AP Brand ngayon. Kasama siya with the newest edition. Pero ngayon naman, gusto ko kausapin si James Panks na napakarami rin fans. Alam mo, James Panks, grabe yung performance mo sa Suyo, especially sa clutch time ng Game 1. Tapos yung Game 2, napunta pa sa yung hero. Iba talaga namang signature hero mo din last season. Ano ba yung bago kay James Panks ngayon? Mas malakas ba?
Hindi ko masawin mas malakas. Ang masabi ko lang, bago na yung mentality ko ngayon eh. Parang ginagawa ko talaga kahit sino kalaban. Tapos lang ang gusto. Yun lang.
Oh, I love that mentality. Alam mo, nag-evolve talaga siya dito sa Mpl Philippines. And speaking of evolution, for Nova, syempre, nakaharap mo si Penguin na dati mong kakampi bilang champion sa MDL. Ano yung pakiramdam na magkabilang table na kayo ngayon?
Ako po, masarap. Kasi sa interview pa lang, yung promo, sabi ko, dito na siya.
Grabe ka na, Nova. Grabe yung Teya. Tuturuin kita. Tuturuin kita. And mind you, captain pa nila yung dati. Grabe ka naman, Nova. Ganito ba talaga kapag birthday, boy? Ganun talaga pag birthday. Yun yung regalo sa sarili. 2-0. 2-0. Kantahan naman natin si Nova. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to Happy birthday, Nova! Napakaganda regalo ito para sa kanya. But now, we would have to take a look kung sino nga ba ang naging MVP ng match na to. Who do you think it is? And that is James Fans. And of course, gusto naming malaman ano yung message mo sa fans mo, especially yung mga lahat ng nanonood ngayon.
Thank you sa pag-support sa amin. Since season 15, kapagpasok ko dito sa tapos gusto ko lang shoutout yung family ko, yung girlfriend ko, tsaka lahat ng fans ng AP Brand. Thank you! Yung boss pala namin, si Boss AP.
Alright, maraming salamat and again, congratulations, AP Brand! You may not take your bow and take your walk of victory. That evolution was insane, Natea. I love what I'm seeing for AP Bren right now. First 2-0 sweep para sa araw na to. So, tignan natin kung ang mga susunod na matches ba 2-0 or will it be extended? But we'll throw it back to our panel.
Thank you so much, our lovely host, for a lovely interview. They were just all smiling. I cannot help but smile myself. Them getting the first 2-0 of the season, not just that day. It's AP Bren. We are in a completely different. That's a different level. Absolutely. MVP here is Mpl Ph. It looks like he slotted in so well with his team. I am just amazed. I am smiling.
We still got it.
He still got it.
We still got it. I don't know. When I saw him win and when I see him on stage, I feel relieved. I feel like
It's like he never won.
yeah. It's like they missed him.
Oh, he's so happy. Even in the game test, that's how he was like. He didn't say I'm back. He said I'm finally here, but which is because he was already here before. But now you see or feel how excited he is to really be back, and he was always so vocal about how strong the PH region is and how excited he is to compete here again. But the fact that it felt like he never left, and the gameplay he showed us just feels like he's been strengthened by all his international experiences. It's such a relief because again, it's not just him that we're finally able to highlight. It's the entirety of AP men who we've always looked at as the team who was still get to get a win even when we were in as far as let's say week 7 or 8 of the regular season. I remember a few seasons back, maybe that was last season, we were counting down, okay, when is it going to be 18 minutes time to go and we were getting to a point that we were losing hope that it was going to happen. And again, so early on in season 7.
Day 2, first sweep. It's them.
It's the first week of the season as well. Look at that. Come on, what's happening? It's not how games are supposed to go. Yeah, I think AP Bren this time around, game 1 felt like they were still trying to find their tempo, and it was Omega who clearly got hold of that better execution when we were looking at the early game. But now AP Bren, it felt like from the very beginning, even despite Quicksilver playing the more aggressive role,
And despite Omega's map choice,
yeah, despite all that, because I feel like early on Quicksilver, he was only able to poke down Nova, Aqua, force them under the turret, but it was so quick of them to recover and focus their attention towards the other parts of the map. And maybe also partly Quicksilver being a bit too aggressive on this show, because there could have been better choices, I feel, for Quicksilver whenever he landed the way of the dragon or whenever he wanted to look for pre-turtle pickoffs. And all of that obviously just amounted to a smoother game of a two here for AP Bren. Again, with Omega's map choice, I feel like they just rode, they're the ones who rode the river in this one. So I'm actually completely amazed, and I love the new point we see for AP Bren. With only just one change, by the way, to the roster, just the one, just the king, turning back to FPL Philippines. Yeah, they are so at home. Go ahead and check their mics here, and we can hear a few funny things happening. Go ahead and do the mic check. Ano, pre, ready nga. Promise.
Basta ako, kaya pa. Let's go, Kim. Mo ko naman. Kailangan lang may isang kapatid.
Palalaw, ya. Okay, tapangan mo lang.
Ay, sumita na ba yun? Sumita na.
Karit.
Kaya niyo? Tarit. Kaya lang it. Nice. Ay, ako mag-ride. Ako mag-ride. Tangay ko. Pupunta pa niyo. Dito sa ako. Go lang. Ito lang. Let mo lang. May ko. Ano sa?
Kaya ito, kaya lang. Boy ako. Nasa akin lang. Tulong. Gusto ko ng bagay. Dito ako. Imperial rito. Okay lang. Ito po ito. Sabi ko na. Patay niyo. Reaction?
I just saw the crowd silent.
Yeah.
Not once I think that she will speak.
No, I know. I was looking at him. I was waiting for him to say something. He was just.
And he was literally on a murdering spree. He was just like,
Yeah, this is comic shop the entire time. I think it was only Aqua, James, and Kiel. Nova, somehow, he just said, he only says, they're all on me. They're all on me. I think that's the only thing he said. He's just a doer. Okay, guys, he's just a doer. He does things.
he like talked about it. He is about it.
I don't even know how he gets to filter out all of those comments because someone's screaming, help,
Yeah.
and someone's saying, this guy's dead, or here.
And I love how it's just team captain for him. He just goes, just be brave. Just be brave. Just
Amazing. Despite being like the shortest guy there, I think. It looks like, right? He seems to be like the eldest, right? He's the big kuya, he's the big brother. Amazing performance. Thank you so much for that performance, AD Brand Omega. We'll come back here in a few minutes for the next match. In a little bit.